Kick the tree. Take your bag and leave my house.
What?
You don't want training.
You want me to break my leg?
Your brother. Remember?
You want this? What about this?
Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classics of Cinematics. And I'm joined as always with my co-host Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo, yo, yo!
We got a film called Kickboxer from 1989. This film was directed by David Worth. In this film, Eric Sloan is an American kickboxing pro, helped by his brother Kurt in his quest for glory. But when the two go to Thailand to take on legendary Tong Po, the opponent viciously beats Eric and leaves him paralyzed. Swearing vengeance, Kurt tracks down Master Jean Chow and begins to learning the sport himself, while also getting caught up in criminal intrigue involving thuggish crime boss Freddie Lee. This film stars Jean Claude Van Dame, of course. We also got Michael Kesey in this as Tong Po. Dennis Alexio plays Eric Sloan, his brother who gets paralyzed. We've also got Mai Lee, played by Rochelle Ashana, and she plays Jean Chow's daughter, played by Dennis Chan. He's the guy that decides to help Kurt out and train him. We've also got Haskell D. Anderson, played by Winston Taylor. And also, I think of note here, Freddie Lee, played by Chia Ting Lee. Yeah, so we're going to tell you all about Kickboxer, man. Let's get it started with this story, man.
First and foremost, it's hard to talk about this movie without referencing Bloodsport because they came out so close to each other. And, the way I see it is like Bloodsport created the door frame for Van Damme. Kickboxer blew the door off the hinges when it comes to his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of the differences between the two films kind of really reside in the story, where this one, even though it is a watered down version of an underdog story that flows in the same vein as like Rocky or Kickboxer. The key elements are there. Like when for an underdog story to really be successful, you got to have, obviously someone to root for, someone to root against, and then a reason as to why, what's motivating them to lock horns in the first place. And this one, it does that. You see this douchey brother, Eric, American kickboxer guy, thinks he's, the shit on wheels, so to speak. In the US, he is. But, for him to be so arrogant to go to Thailand where, this style of martial arts was created, something that he hasn't even experienced or fought against, and to think that he's just gonna, effortlessly beat their champ, not knowing that Tong Po is like the bully of Bangkok. You know what I'm saying? And, within the first couple minutes, Tong Po wipes the floor with him. He whoops his ass in the first round and breaks his back in the second round. And Kurt, is witness to all this. So of course he vows his vengeance to, step into the ring with him and kick his ass back because he owes him one. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much that's like,
It's kind of a weird thing, man, because you kick Tong Po's ass, your brother's still going to be paralyzed.
He's still going to be paralyzed.
It's wild, man. It's enough to get this movie going, and and it leads to him, finding a trainer who my man ZM, who teaches him. Man, like you said, man, very derivative of other films we've seen like this, other kind of martial arts based, fighting based, revenge films as well.
Yeah. It's broke down into 3 phases. We get the reason for the fight, the training for the fight, the final fight. But I feel like this particular story thrives in the training montage, in the character building, and the relationship that's formed between Kurt and Zien. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the best part about it, in my opinion.
Yes, that is definitely the most impactful part of the story, and it gives us that feeling like, okay, we spend enough time with this dude and we see what he's putting himself through and how passionate he is about putting himself in the position to go toe to toe with Po, that, you know, it's like you start rooting for him, like really like, yeah, man, you know, show that split machine who's boss. Stop crying, you know what I'm saying? Kick those pads, Kurt, you know?
Yeah, man. It's like Rocky chasing the chicken, man.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we speak on that, because, you know, I think we get the setting out the way now, too, while we're talking about, like, the fact that they're going to Thailand for this, man. I think it does add a lot of dimension to this, because when we first open up the fight, we see Eric actually fighting, you know, but he's fighting an American fight. He, you know, he does a good job in that fight, but he gets offered this chance to come here, and I guess maybe he's doing it for the money, because there's really not much else here. It's not like he's fighting for a belt, you know, with this thing against Tong Po. And he's not taking it seriously because maybe he doesn't even take this martial arts seriously.
Right.
And that was a big thing when this movie came out. I think this movie kind of helped get Muay Thai bigger in the States, bigger, more popularity. You started seeing more films of this nature, and Muay Thai schools was coming up all over the place. Dudes that used to slap box like this started going like this.
Dude, you're absolutely right. This film actually, this film is credited for, you know, bringing exposure to the Muay Thai fighting style, not just in the U.S., but to a global audience, like outside of Thailand. And I feel like, you know, when it comes to the setting, you know, you kind of really, like, you capture the essence, you know what I'm saying? Because this film, you know, it was actually filmed on site when it comes to the temples and the streets of Bangkok and the nightlife. And then the rest of the film was filmed in Hong Kong. But, like, you do get a real good feeling for what to expect if you were to travel there.
And then, honestly, this seemed like the Disney version of that, because from what I understand about Thailand and other things that I've seen in these regions, especially that red light district and those bars and clubs, it's a little bit more lit than this. But this gives you a taste. And I think,
you get a little taste.
and I think being immersed in that country and in the culture also adds an element, production value to this film that it wouldn't have otherwise. I think, you know, I think you got a bonus by shooting there and filming there. It gives this thing a little bit more authenticity, even though it is a Hollywood product, you know, but it kind of immerses you in the culture. You see the terrain, the village, the land, the cities that this sport is living in, you know?
Yes. And you know, that's why, like, even though they laugh my man Kurt out, I love that little scene, that segment we get where he goes to the Muay Thai training school and he's like all, you know, wearing his little suede shirt and his khakis, like, I want Tong Po. He's like me going into a boxing or a boxing arena and pointing at Muhammad Ali's picture, like, I wanna fight him. I don't know shit about it, but, you know, show me the way, you know, and they all laugh him out. When it comes to the character of Tong Po, you know what I'm saying? Like, they even went as far to make him come off as such a badass that he's credited as playing himself at the end of the film.
That's wild. That's that movie. That's the whole thing. That's like the Frank Dukes ticker at the end of Bloodsport with all the bullshit stats, like just to give you that edge and have people talking.
Exactly. Ultimately, I credit Michael Kissy and the way that he, you know, put the effort and energy that he put into his character, because honestly, he was just like him and Van Damme, they came to the country together. They were childhood friends. They vowed to become, you know, Hollywood actors in the States together, and that's how their career started. I mean, they were both in Bloodsport, and then of course he's in this as Tong Po. But the way he got his role is he overheard the production crew talking about how they needed a tall, Oriental-looking dude that knew Muay Thai. So what he did is he went to the makeup designers, told them, "Look, make me look a certain kind of way.
Make me Thai, bro. Oh my God, this is terrible, man."
He walks in, he auditions, gets the role on the spot, and you know, shout out to the way they made him look, because his look in this film is actually what inspired the design for Goro in Mortal Kombat.
See, I'm gonna let them slide, because honestly, I didn't know he was not an Asian man until maybe 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's kind of crazy, you know. I gotta excuse, this is Hollywood at this time, and they did what they had to do.
Exactly.
But my man was born in Morocco, bro.
Yes, you see what I'm saying?
He's a Moroccan playing Thai. This is crazy.
This is crazy. But you know, like you said, we see this kind of thing happening so much at films in this time, and it's not.
Oh my God.
cool that they do this. You know, they should have definitely broadened their horizons a little bit and you know, gave more people opportunity to be in these films. But, you know, for Mike Kissy, for him to take the steps that he took to try to get his career started, I thought that was
now I'm thinking, because he does fight a Thai dude, his first fight. So I'm like, what if you shaved that guy's head and gave him the Tong Po ponytail? Could he have played Tong Po? I don't know.
What I'm saying? Tong Po, he's one of those characters where his name rings bells. Like, anyone who saw this movie knows who Tong Po is, because he's very significant in his look and the way he presents the Muay Thai fighting style. Like,
he left a mark.
He is a bully in the ring. He does not come off as somebody you would want to throw hands with.
Yeah, I mean, the underdog does need a strong adversary, you know, so we definitely get that out of here. We get also Eric Sloan, who kind of sets this thing in motion with his arrogant ass. Played arrogantly very well by Dennis Alexio. Yes. I think he's good in this thing for what he has to do. You know, he's just that cocky American. In a way, he's almost like, he reminds me of Creed. Yes. In that scene where Creed's just on the phone worrying about his money, not taking Rocky seriously as an opponent, and this guy also not taking Tong Po seriously, or even the fighting style seriously, which is way different than what he's used to. So he does an effective part. And then it cracks me up later where he becomes his Kurt's biggest cheerleader from his wheelchair. You know, he's still wheeling around and still a yellow for a guy with no legs, bro. Like, he's still talking shit.
You know, the thing is terrible. Like, I don't prefer to be around assholes, but I respect the asshole that's an asshole all the time, because at least you know that's how they really are. You know what I'm saying? I might not like you at all. I don't want to be around you, but I respect you. But I feel like the reason why Alexo can present himself so well in this film is because he naturally wasn't an actor. He was actually a light heavyweight champion fighter in the ring in American kickboxing. So, you know,
that would explain why he really didn't do much work after this. You know, like you know what I'm saying? You would think this guy, he had the face and the build. He could have been a more action star. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, he could have co-starred with Chuck Norris or remember that Hulk Hogan show where he rides around on the boat? Was it Tropic Thunder or something?
It's a weird thing though with this era, because there weren't a lot of team ups. It was so crazy that Van Damme had to team up with himself in a movie.
Double Impact.
It was like, I don't know if it was an ego thing or if the producers thought that like you would see it happening maybe later on with guys where Jackie Chan was doing films with his buddies, but that's more Hong Kong based. Or even what I tend to notice, they would always pair Cynthia Rothrock with a male martial artist, even though she was just as good as them. So maybe they're thinking no one's going to watch these films without a dude next to her. But it was very rare to see team ups, man. Like I think that's why something like Tango and Cash has so much pop, because we got two really big stars that are teaming up together. You know what I'm saying? And doing a film together.
You know what? Speaking of team ups, you know what I'm saying? Dennis Chan as Yen, like, he's probably one of
my favorite character in this. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's because like he really captures that like Mr. Miyagi training style that, you know, where he kind of like, and I think they did this intentionally, like, you know, to really overhit the nail of the inexperience that Kurt Stallone had in the situation that he was in. You know what I'm saying? With just not knowing this fighting style. They touch on the fact that he dibbled and dabbled with a little bit of karate, and, you know, so he knows enough to be able to get started. It's better than going in totally green, but he definitely did not know what to expect. And the way Zien does the training with, it's like he's using all
it's
like
very specific ancient, though, to the sport.
Yes.
Like I think he's counting on whatever Kurt already knows to be enough, but also conditioning him in the Muay Thai way.
Yeah.
You know, like especially strengthening your shins and, you know, and learning certain strikes that are, you know, and being able to defend yourself, especially like the knee hits. Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely. So yeah, he did a really good job. And I also like what Haskell V. Anderson brought as Taylor. Like, he just he brings that certain comic relief, you know what I'm saying, while still being, you know, I mean, kind of set in his own ways and stuff. What I liked about his character was his personality. Like, you could tell like that he probably he gives the feeling like he kind of got stuck where he was at, and then when an opportunity presented itself for his to maybe go back to a past life or something like that, he didn't want to. He was content with where he was at and how he was living.
This is life.
You know what I'm saying?
He went there for Vietnam and never came back.
Trope alert.
he's also one of these characters that knows everything. He's got all the connections.
Absolutely.
He's that guy, and
Yes,
he
yes,
does a
he
good
is.
job at
Yes,
that.
he is.
And it's funny too because we don't get extensive stuff, but I like him and Jean's child, their exchanges because it feels like Winston is his boy, but it's also his boy that usually comes with trouble or some. Or some shenanigans.
Yeah.
So when he
he's
breathes,
the one he's got to cut off with how much alcohol he can drink when they go to the bar.
and that's crazy. But it's not expressly stated what the relationship is, but the fact that Kurt name drops him and it kind of changes Jian's tone towards him. He doesn't explicitly say, "Oh, that's my guy. I got you." He's more willing to listen and test him and fill him out a little bit to see if he's even worth training him. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of crazy.
Absolutely. And then of course, the main focal point of this film is the fight scenes. We do get. It's not like Bloodsport. Bloodsport is all fighting, not a lot of story. This is kind of the reverse effect. We do get the three fights. We get the one in the beginning, the one in the middle where Kurt shows that he's good enough to be in the ring, and then the final fight, of course. And
there's a little couple skirmishes. He fights the dudes that come to Miley's shop. They're local thugs.
That's true.
Freddie's thugs,
goons,
they're extorting her, and he's there, and he doesn't let them take his money, and he beats their ass. Yeah. But then Xion gets him drunk.
When he's dancing,
test his balance, which makes no sense, bro. You're not drunk. Being drunk, that's not when you're going to learn your balance, because you're still going to have to put that stuff in effect when you're sober. Like that would make more sense to me. But he gets him drunk and he starts a fight in the bar, which is
that's hilarious.
This is one of the most hilarious scenes. My man comes through with a tank top with suspender hooks on the strap, and it's the wildest. And you can look at this, people make a meme with this or get animated GIF reaction of him just dancing. He's hitting his moves, and he's got on his gray slacks. It's crazy.
Got a woman in front of him, a woman behind him. Van Dam is happily dancing. He is very
you
happy.
couldn't get into no bar with that outfit on, bro.
No, not at all. And
that'd be
to
crazy.
top it off, we had the cowboy boots on. Yeah,
somebody should cosplay. That'd be some Halloween, bro. Just come through the party with the, the Van Dam moves.
Yeah, dude, that shit's wild. But and one thing that I didn't know was that Van Dam not only helped co-write the story, but he also choreographed and directed all of the fight scenes in this film.
It makes sense, bro.
That's why, of course, it's definitely catering to what he can do as a martial artist and stuff.
And it's blood sporty in the way, like I don't think these two, Bloodsport or this Kickboxer, are the pinnacle of his martial arts abilities, because he tended to use a lot of there weren't complicated takes. There's not a lot of form. There's usually here's a block and I'm a counter, blah, and then slow mo it to give it more impact. I feel like later on when he got to other things, that's when the choreography started getting a little bit more complicated, and we got to really see what he could do.
And also, early on in his movies, they always wanted to showcase the fact that he could do the splits. That was like
you're gonna get a split in.
You're gonna get a split in and get punched below the belt.
He does it at the bar with his suspenders on. He's like,
he does it in Bloodsport. He does it to Tong Po as well. But
that's it's crazy how iconic this guy is. He became a fighting game character. This is Johnny Cage, bro.
This is Johnny Cage.
And they got his split move in that character. Yes. Johnny Cage does a split and punches you in the balls, which is what he did to a dude in this film. He squatted down and
and he did it to the big guy in Bloodsport. You see what I'm saying? So that's yet again, that's why, when it comes to the fight scenes and the choreography, that again is how Tong Po really kind of overhits the nail in the best way, because he's the one fighting with the Muay Thai style. And, it shows that with Muay Thai, it's more about power blows. You know what I'm saying? They're not just focusing on your feet, kicks and punches. It's with the elbows and with the knees. I love the part at the end where Tong Po shows his level of arrogance and expertise in his craft, because he's calling his shots. If he says he's using his knee, he's going to use his knee for the whole round, or his elbow, or whatever the case may be.
It's a lack of choreography to me. I feel like this is when it got lazy. Maybe they had a limited time, and so they didn't have time to plan more stuff. Because there's one fight where Tom Poe was just like, I'm like, bro,
but that was early on. I'm talking about at the end.
Even at the end, his movements are kind of limited. He's going to land a strike, but like I said, this fighting is real simple, man. Like really simple.
When I was younger, I also watched a lot of wrestling, right? And so the final fight to me kind of hits like an old school Hulk Hogan match. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
he does that.
You know, he does the build up, he gets his ass whooped, and then all of a sudden, out of left field, when everybody comes back, Zian Taylor and Eric comes back, they start chanting the Naksu Cow stuff, and then he revs it up.
Was the fight rigged? I forgot he was supposed to take a dive.
Dude, Freddie Lee went ahead and kidnapped Eric. They stabbed Zien's dog. They raped Kirk's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a lot of stuff to try to, you know.
So he's holding back
the
most of the fight, and
like,
then he gets the once he realizes everyone's clear,
that's
then
it. Like, I mean, it happens like dominoes fall, bro. Like Tong Po is whooping his whole entire ass, and then he tells him that he raped Mei Lee. He's like, yeah, you know, you bleeding like her and stuff, and he's like, what? He goes back to the corner. He's like, you tell me, and she told him. Right after that, Eric, Zian, Taylor come in. He's like, oh yeah, ring the bell. I'm about to beat your ass, Tong Po, and he does. He kicks the shit out of his face 100 million times.
Yeah. That was the crazy shit to me. I watched as a kid when they would do the multiple impact stuff. He would do this in some of the other movies. So I think they did in Bloodsport too with the editing. But he'll do a kick and they'll be like, bah, 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 like from different angles slightly, and just or.
It's like, man, but you know what? Not for nothing. For this one, the one that really matters, it turned a little bit under $3 million into a little close to $50 million. Overall, globally. So that's a flip and a half. It's part of the canon era where, you know, it's just, you know, good times, cocaine, and let's throw movies to the wall and see if it sticks. And, you know, this one, it did that. It did that for all intents and purposes.
How you feel about the film now with 2025 eyes?
You know, I'm gonna put it like this. You know, I still love it because it brings me back to a place where I was at when I was younger. I watched this. You know, my critical lens. Yes, I was picking this movie apart, but the whole time I was doing that, I did it with a Colgate smile because I felt young again. Like watching this movie, it made me feel like it made certain feelings that I haven't felt in a long time, like kind of start to resurface. Like I said, this one made me think of, you know, when we were young, me and my friends and stuff, and, you know, we'd all be like wrestling, roughhousing and stuff, and someone would put their hands up and trying to do the Tong Po, you know, so it became a part of my childhood, you know what I'm saying? Just the influences of this movie. So that's why I still enjoy it and hold it close to my heart.
I feel you. I had fun with it when I was a kid, but now, bro, I could see like the flaws are so glaring, bro. This is a tough rewatch for me. Even though there are parts that I really love. I really love the training stuff, but the setup was so goofy to me, man. And then some of the other stuff that's happening, like even the stuff with the local gangsters, man, Kurt's a jackass. Like it's so offbeat. Like I was telling you earlier, this feels like this was a film made for like 8-year-olds, bro. If you take out the titty bar scene,
yes,
this is a kid's film. Like it has the IQ of children, yo. That made this. It's just entertaining enough, you know, and I don't know, bro.
That really enhances the point I just made.
It has aged well for me.
Yes, it does. It definitely, and it has an age limit. But you know, another thing
and I look at it, I was like, damn, I was so easily entertained as a kid.
Yes,
because there were films that have this same formula that were being made at that time. Maybe not American films, because we tend to take the stuff that's working from other things and cheapen it and Americanize it, because there were definitely like stuff being made in Hong Kong that was way better put together than this, you know, like they had more sense. But this thing is part of Van Damme's DNA and what made him a star, you know?
Yes, and the story is it's a testament to, you know, simpler times. Like you said, how easily children were entertained because we had less devices to our.
It was working on adults.
It was working on adults as well.
Those was the ones that was taking us to see these movies. That's very true. Or written them.
That's very true too. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed my rewatches this week. Like I said, it was like watching old school wrestling all over again. Yeah, from the setup to the fighting. And another thing I liked about it too was the score. Like the music was Paul Herzog, and he's also the one who was in control of the music for Bloodsport, so that's why it has like a similar sound. But I feel like this one, you know, what he really tried to do was control the tempo. Like, you know, during all the training montages, like as Kurt's slowly getting better, like the music revs up. But one part that it makes me belly laugh every time I see it is there's a part where, you know, Kurt and Maylee, they meet in the woods, and, you know, they kind of, you know, they get it on. And then the next scene, it shows Kurt training, and the music changes. It sounds all like happy, and he's like kicking the pots and breaking the pots with like a smile on his face. You can tell he had a good time just by what's going on and the music that's playing. It's almost like magical. Like, you know, it goes from like revved up training music to like.
There's a couple cool sounds, like when he's supposed to be training and then listening to the voice of the ancestors. Come on, man.
You hear the eagle?
Oh, that damn eagle that was hanging around the whole time. The eagle that seemingly made Child decide to train him.
Yes. Because he looks up, he's like, shit.
And then,
it's the bird of knowledge telling me to do this shit.
He's like, man, this jerk over here trying to chop and kick. And then the bird comes down and he's like, oh, maybe this is the one. Yeah. I'm like, nah.
Let me light these training sticks on fire. That'll rev him up. Let me tie this stake to his leg while he runs so the dog can chase him so he can train harder.
Yeah, man. It's a wild thing, bro. Hey, man, the stuff that we used to watch, bro. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but you know what? These films are etched in our brain and part of our movie watching experiences and got us to where we are now. That's why this film is getting highlighted today, because it was one of those ones. You know, it was one of those ones. Definitely a strong film of my younger days, man.
Yeah. All right, folks. I think we can wrap this up. If you haven't, I don't know why you're watching this, but go check out Kickboxer. It's streaming somewhere, man.
Oh, on Tubi.
It's for real? Tubi's got it? All
Matter of fact, not only this one, but all 5 of them are on Tubi.
I ain't watching more than that, bro. Like, I never seen part 2. I think I seen No Retreat, No Surrender 2. I can't remember, but there was good martial arts in one of these movies. It was probably like a crap story, but there was some good fighting, and I think it was No Retreat, Surrender 2, something like that.
You know,
man.
Another one that flows in this same vein was Best of the Best, man.
Best of the Best is good, though. The first really one, good. Definitely, I wanted to watch the sequels, but that was a good.
We're going to end up doing that one,
film.
too. You know, you talk about the brick kick.
But yeah, we out of here, folks, man. Make sure you tell everybody about us, man. Like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when new episodes come back. And we'll be back with another classic soon on Classics of Cinematics.
Yes, indeed. And as always, it's Bobby Blockbuster. You check me out on the next show.
Yeah, catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us at Classics of Cinematics on Instagram. And we're also on TikTok. Just search Classics of Cinematics.
And don't go out to the bar, get drunk, and dance like Van Damme.
Nah, that's
not
shit.
advised.
I'm about to do that tonight.